Music theory. It is something in this world that is shied away from quite a bit. I think a lot of people can, somewhat start to rely on machines and software, and it's absolutely fine. I did it for many years myself, and I've always, I'm no keyboard player by any stretch. I know my music theory at a respectable level, and I can play a little bit. I've done some classes and stuff, obviously, when I was younger, and yeah, as I said, I'm no genius on the keys, but I know enough just to get around basically, and I can write and I can understand what's happening, and I think it's an important thing to really just understand what's in front of you, what key you're working in, the scale of that key, what chords are in this key, and then when you're figuring out just one, then you can start to progress at weird different scales and different keys and different chords, and it really is an endless barrel of ideas once you go down that road. But for this one, it was established already, be it the vocal and the pads, that I was rooted in B minor, and then it was just a case of looking at the chords and seeing how they progress, moving some stuff around, and I guess moving over to the OB8, this is where it happened. It happened on the piano, but this is the first synth where I sort of established what was happening. So we're in B minor. So it was a case of, for our verse middle eight, twice, and then we drop that. It's the F minor, the G, A, and then our B with a stretch, and then down to our chorus. So really simple, triads. Why are we using triads? Mostly because the voices are a wee bit wonky on this OB8. One of the joys of old synthesizers just needs a little bit of a refurb, but it was somewhat of a limit, by having three really functional, reliable voices on this synth. And if it works, it works. If I need to do extra layers, I'll record a second layer if there was more chords in the mix, and it could be even more interesting that way. But this was the way it worked. This is the way it really progressed. And as soon as I heard it, it's down an octave. When the recording came in, and we'll just have a quick listen to our OB8. Okay, so that's pretty much what our OB8's doing. We have our arpeggiator bass line in there, just noting on the scale of that. That's pretty much rooted, just playing the B. We have a quick look down here. We're going to go into more depth on the Model 10 on this arpeggiator line. But there you go. Like, it's pretty much following the chords, the lower notes and the chords. I might have moved the notes around to maybe the second or third note in the chord, but realistically, it's usually the lowest note in the chord is what my bass line's playing. And then that's just running an arpeggiator, running on sixteenths, and then two steps up on the octave. So that's giving me the we have a quick listen to that. And what we're also starting to establish now with this is our rhythm section. We're going to talk more about that as we go on. this is where the rhythm section started to be established. Bum, 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 bum. You're hearing that high note. Is that where my rhythm's going to be? And that's where it's going to be. And we just heard that with the OBA. As you can see, everything's tight there musically. I'm rigidly sticking to my scale, to my chords, and I just have one less headache to be dealing with once I know exactly what notes I'm playing, where I'm at, and it's just a case of really keeping an eye on the tuning on some of these analog synths. But yeah, without going too much further into it, you know, if you follow them basic principles of just sticking to your music theory, stick to the scale that you're working in, establish the chords, the notes, the chords, play around with them, and I think you'll find that ideas just keep on coming once you set these boundaries in place, and that little bit of knowledge can help so much. Music theory.